On the night of my 30th birthday, as my family raised their glasses to toast me, my cousin slid a folded photo under my dessert plate. I thought it was a sweet note. But when I pulled it out, my hands froze. It wasn't words, it was a picture. My husband, Ryan, kissing Madison in my own kitchen. The room around me buzzed with laughter and champagne, yet in that moment, all I could hear was silence. The man I trusted, the cousin I sheltered, together. And there I sat, smiling for the cameras, while my entire world crumbled in front of 200 witnesses. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 29, and I run a small flower shop in Seattle, my little sanctuary filled with roses, lilies, and orchids that have seen more of my secrets than any person ever has. Ryan Thompson, my husband, is 33. On the outside, he's the kind of man women dream of, polished, successful, a rising star in real estate. He always knew the right thing to say, the perfect way to charm a room. People adored him. I did too, once. And then there's Madison Brooks, my younger cousin. She moved in with me last year, fresh out of college, needing a place to land. I gave her my guest room, helped her find work, treated her like a sister. We grew up together, shared birthdays, sleepovers, secrets. I trusted her more than anyone. Looking back now, maybe I should have noticed the way her smile lingered when Ryan walked into the room. Or the way his eyes found her across the table. But love makes you blind, and trust makes you reckless. Together, they were my comfort zone. I never thought they would also be the ones to tear my life apart. At first, it was little things, so small, I almost convinced myself I was imagining them. Ryan coming home late, claiming it was another client dinner. Madison already sitting on the couch, waiting up for him, laughing at jokes I wasn't even in on. The way their voices hushed the moment I walked into the room. I told myself it was nothing. They were family. Madison had always been warm, friendly, quick to make people feel comfortable. And Ryan, well, he was my husband. Why would I ever doubt him? But then came the lingering touches. Madison brushing flour off Ryan's shirt while helping him bake cookies in my kitchen. His hand on her shoulder a second too long. The kind of gestures that seem harmless, until you catch the flicker in their eyes. One night, as I cleaned up after closing the flower shop, I noticed Ryan had left his phone charging in the back room. A new message lit up the screen. Just one word, soon. From Madison. I stared at it for a full minute, my stomach in knots. Soon. Soon what? My mind raced with 1,000 possibilities. But when Ryan came to pick me up, smiling, acting like nothing was wrong, I shoved the thought aside. I wasn't ready to believe it. Not yet. Looking back, that was the moment I knew the truth was out there, hovering just beyond the surface, waiting for the right time to destroy everything I thought I had. The night of my 30th birthday should have been a celebration. My shop was closed for the evening, the restaurant was filled with family and friends, the air buzzing with champagne and candles. Ryan stood beside me, arm draped over my shoulder, smiling as if he had built this perfect life just for me. Madison was 2 seats down, wearing the emerald dress I'd bought her for Christmas, clinking glasses, laughing too loud. Then it happened. While everyone sang the birthday song, Madison leaned forward and slid a folded photo under my dessert plate. Her smile never wavered, but her eyes were daring me to look. I pulled it out, hands trembling under the tablecloth. A photograph. My husband and my cousin in my kitchen, his hands around her waist, their lips locked in a kiss that shattered me in an instant. The room spun. 200 eyes were on me, waiting for me to blow out the candles. I plastered on a smile, leaned forward, and made a wish. A wish I never thought I'd make on my birthday, that I'd survive the humiliation without breaking in front of them. Applause, laughter, cheers, it all blurred into noise. I set the photo back under the plate, slipped it into my clutch, and lifted my glass as Ryan shouted, "To my beautiful wife, Emily, the love of my life." The crowd roared, but I tasted only bitterness. Everyone thought they were witnessing my happiest moment. What they didn't know was that my marriage had already ended, right there at that table, under the glow of birthday candles. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't flip the table the way Madison probably expected me to. Instead, I smiled. I danced when the music played, cut the cake, hugged my guests, and posed for photos with Ryan like nothing had happened. Every picture that night shows a bride glowing with happiness, but if you look close enough, my smile doesn't quite reach my eyes. Madison hovered near me, waiting for the explosion. I could feel her eyes tracking me across the room, searching for the tears, the outburst, the meltdown. She wanted me to break, to make a scene that would burn the memory of her victory into me forever. But I wasn't going to give her that satisfaction. When Ryan leaned in to kiss my cheek for the camera, I leaned back just slightly, disguising it as a laugh. When Madison tried to whisper something as we passed on the dance floor, I brushed past her with an excuse about fixing my dress. The party ended with cheers and sparklers in the night air. Ryan held my hand tightly as we walked to the car, and for the first time, I squeezed back, not out of love, but out of calculation. Because behind the calm mask I wore that night, my mind was already working. I wasn't going to fall apart. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to plan. And when I was ready, neither Ryan nor Madison would see me coming. The morning after my birthday, Ryan brought me coffee in bed, black, just the way I liked it. He kissed my forehead, asked if I had a good night. I looked him in the eyes and lied. It was perfect. But in my mind, something had shifted. I wasn't his wife anymore. I was his shadow, watching, recording, waiting. That afternoon, while he was at work, I walked through every room of our house with a calm, steady purpose. In the living room, I installed a small camera in the bookshelf, angled toward the couch. Another in the kitchen, hidden inside a jar of flour. And one in the hallway, pointed at our bedroom door. If Madison and Ryan thought they could keep their secret hidden, they were wrong. I also started saving everything, every text, every call, every slip of a word that didn't add up. I made copies of receipts I found in his jacket pocket, expensive dinners, wine bottles, hotel charges I never knew about. Each piece felt like another brick in the wall I was building against him. At night, when Ryan slept beside me, I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, rehearsing the steps in my head. Step 1, gather evidence. Step 2, find the right lawyer. Step 3, destroy the illusion Ryan had worked so hard to build. Madison still came around, smiling, pretending, acting as if the photo she'd handed me meant nothing. But every time she laughed too sweetly at Ryan's jokes, every time his hand brushed against hers, I felt a surge of cold determination. They thought I was blind. They thought I was weak. But I wasn't broken. I was preparing. It didn't take long. Just a week after my birthday, the cameras gave me what I needed. Ryan and Madison in the living room, sitting too close, whispering, her hand brushing over his. His voice low but clear, "She doesn't know. Just give it time." That night, when he came to bed smelling faintly of whiskey, I asked casually, "Rough day at work?" He hesitated just a second too long. His lies were starting to crack. The next afternoon, I laid one of the receipts on the kitchen counter, a dinner for two at Romano's, the same night he told me he had a late meeting. Ryan froze, then forced a laugh. "Emily, you're overthinking." Madison was upset that night. I just took her out to cheer her up. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. 3 words sharp enough to cut me open, but my face didn't flinch. I slid another paper across the counter, a hotel charge. His eyes flickered, panic flashing before he covered it with that lawyer's smile I used to fall for. "Okay, he sighed, running a hand through his hair. It happened. But only once. I was drunk. She was lonely. It was a mistake. A mistake. That's what he called it. I leaned against the counter, my voice steady, almost too calm. Funny. Because the cameras in our house caught you two together 3 different times. In our bed. The color drained from his face. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. Behind him, I noticed Madison standing in the doorway, her eyes wide, her body trembling. She must have heard everything. For the first time, they both realized the game had changed. I wasn't their victim anymore. I was their judge, and the verdict was coming. The morning after Ryan's pathetic confession, I booked an appointment with the best divorce attorney in Seattle, Olivia Martinez. Her office was sharp and modern, every corner radiating power. Olivia herself was even sharper. Mid-40s, eyes like steel, and a reputation for tearing liars apart in court. I laid everything out on her desk, the photos, the receipts, the text messages, the recordings from the hidden cameras. Olivia flipped through them silently, her pen scratching notes across a yellow pad. When she finally looked up, her smile was cold and confident. "Emily," she said, "this isn't just infidelity. This is calculated betrayal. With evidence like this, we won't just win a divorce. We'll dismantle his career." Her words were gasoline to the fire already burning inside me. Ryan wasn't just going to lose me. He was going to lose everything he had built on lies. That evening, when Ryan walked through the front door, I was waiting. For once, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't even look angry. I simply handed him the business card. Olivia Martinez. Divorce attorney, he read aloud, his face paling. He tried to laugh it off, the way he always did. "Emily, come on. We can work this out. Couples therapy, maybe. Don't throw away 3 years over one mistake." I met his gaze, steady and unflinching. "One mistake?" I whispered. "You made 3, with my cousin, in my bed. That wasn't a mistake. That was a choice." The mask slipped. His jaw tightened, his charm evaporated. "If you take this to court, you'll regret it," he muttered. For the first time, I laughed, not sweetly, not nervously, but with the icy certainty of a woman who had already chosen war. "No, Ryan," I said. "The only one who's going to regret this, is you." Asterisk. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and cold judgment. I sat beside Olivia, my hands steady on the table, while Ryan adjusted his tie across the aisle. His lawyer whispered frantically in his ear, but Ryan's eyes never left me. When the judge called the case, Olivia stood tall, every word precise, every exhibit loaded like ammunition. First came the photos, Ryan and Madison, locked in an embrace in my kitchen. Then the receipts, dinners, hotel rooms, wine bottles. Finally, the recordings from the cameras. His voice, clear as day, "She doesn't know. Just give it time." The room grew silent, the kind of silence that cuts deeper than noise. Ryan's face drained of color. Madison sat behind him, wringing her hands, eyes brimming with tears. "Your Honor," Olivia said, her voice ringing with authority, "this wasn't a single lapse in judgment. This was a premeditated affair. Conducted under my client's roof. In her bed. By a husband who vowed fidelity, and a cousin who vowed loyalty. If this isn't fraud within a marriage, I don't know what is." Ryan's lawyer scrambled to object, but the judge silenced him with a raised hand. "Mr. Thompson," she said, fixing Ryan with a stare that stripped him bare. "Do you have anything to say in your defense?" Ryan stood, attempting to summon his old confidence. His voice cracked. It was complicated. "She's exaggerating. Madison, she Enough. The judge's gavel struck like thunder. The evidence speaks louder than your excuses. Then Olivia delivered the final blow, text messages between Ryan and Madison during my honeymoon. Read aloud, each word sliced through the courtroom, can't wait to get rid of her when we're back. At least this trip is being paid with her money. Gasps echoed through the gallery. Ryan's composure shattered. Madison broke into sobs, her mascara streaking down her face. The judge's ruling was swift and merciless, the marriage annulled on grounds of fraud, full possession of the house awarded to me, half of Ryan's hidden assets transferred, and all court costs charged to him. Ryan sank into his chair, his career, his reputation, his lies crumbling around him. For the first time since my birthday, I breathed freely. Not because justice was served, but because everyone finally saw Ryan for what he truly was. After the trial, the world looked different. The house that once felt like a prison was mine now, mine alone. I repainted the walls in brighter colors, tore down the curtains Ryan had chosen, and filled every corner with flowers from my shop. For the first time in years, the space felt like it belonged to me, not to us. My business blossomed too. News of the case had spread, and people came to my flower shop not just for bouquets, but to support the woman who refused to stay silent. Every arrangement I tied with ribbon felt like a knot in my life being untangled. Ryan, meanwhile, was suspended from his firm, whispers of scandal following him through every corner of Seattle's legal world. His perfect image shattered, he avoided me in public, his eyes hollow when our paths crossed in court to finalize the financial settlements. He looked like a man stripped bare of everything but shame. And then there was Madison. She showed up at my door weeks later, her belly already beginning to show. No emerald dress this time, no smug smile. Just a broken girl, clutching her hands, eyes swollen from crying. I ruined everything, she whispered. I lost Ryan. I lost our family. And now I'm losing myself. For a long moment, I said nothing. Part of me wanted to slam the door in her face. But when I looked at her, really looked at her, I didn't just see betrayal. I saw the cost of envy, of poor choices, of chasing someone else's life instead of building your own. Madison, I said quietly, I can't fix this for you. And I can't forget what you did. But I hope you learn from it. Because the only way forward is to stop destroying and start creating. Her tears spilled over, and for the first time, she didn't argue. She just nodded, as if finally understanding that this was her consequence to bear. As she left, I realized something. My revenge wasn't watching Ryan's career burn or Madison's world collapse. My true revenge was standing tall in the ashes, rebuilding my life on my own terms. If this story taught me anything, it's that betrayal doesn't define you, your response does. I could have screamed that night at my birthday dinner, torn everything apart in front of 200 people. I could have collapsed under the weight of humiliation. But I chose silence, patience, and calculation. And because of that, I didn't just survive. I rebuilt. Life will hand all of us moments when the people we trust most let us down, sometimes in ways we never thought possible. A spouse. A sibling. A friend. We can't always control their choices, but we can always control ours. For me, revenge wasn't watching Ryan's career crumble or Madison's tears fall. True revenge was refusing to let their betrayal destroy me. It was turning pain into power. So if you've been lied to, cheated on, abandoned, remember this: you are stronger than the people who try to break you. Strength doesn't come from shouting the loudest, it comes from standing your ground, gathering the truth, and walking away with dignity intact. Because at the end of the day, betrayal is temporary. But the life you rebuild after, it's yours forever. It's been months since that night, and my life no longer feels like a wreckage, it feels like a rebirth. My flower shop is thriving, my home is finally mine, and I've discovered a strength I never knew I had. But sometimes, late at night, I think back to that photo Madison slid under my plate. That one moment that burned down everything I thought was unshakable. Ryan lost his career. Madison lost her innocence. And I found myself. Still, I can't help but wonder, if it had been you, if your husband and your own family had betrayed you on the same night, would you have forgiven them, or would you have fought back like I did? Tell me in the comments. I want to know what you would have done.